My brother-in-law used to laugh at me. He laughed at my old car, my worn-out clothes, even my food. He thought I was too small, too poor, too insignificant. But life has a strange way of spinning the wheel. One day, the man who mocked my poverty was forced to respect my victory. And that's the story I want to tell you today. Have you ever been humiliated for not having money? Have you ever swallowed a cruel joke in silence, promising yourself that one day things would change? Well, this is my journey. My name is Daniel. I was born into a simple family in the countryside. My parents always taught me that dignity has no price and character is worth more than any coin. But the truth is, I grew up knowing what financial struggle felt like. Worn out shoes, patched school uniforms, and that constant fear of not making it to the end of the month. When I met my wife, I realized that along with love, I was also gaining a challenge, dealing with her family. And that's when the brother-in-law came in, Ricardo, tall, well-dressed, full of stories about trips and accomplishments. He was the opposite of me, born into comfort, never knowing what it was like to count coins to buy bread. From the start, Ricardo made sure everyone knew the difference, and every word from him was a cruel reminder. I was the poor guy in the family. The first time I truly felt Ricardo's arrogance was during a Sunday lunch. The table was full, the family gathered, laughter all around, the smell of good food. Suddenly he looked at my shoes and said out loud, "Daniel, hasn't that pair given up already? Looks like it came back from war." The whole table laughed. I forced a smile, but inside, it hurt. Words are like stones. The one who throws them may forget, but the one who receives carries the weight for a long time. It wasn't just about shoes, it was about everything. Ricardo loved showing off his new car, imported shirts, expensive watches, and of course, he always found a way to put me down in front of others. Once, when I bought my first used phone, he said, "Careful, Daniel, that junk might explode in your hand. It'll just make you poorer." The kids laughed. I swallowed my pride. The comparison was constant, and little by little, I realized, to him, my worth was measured only by what I had in my wallet. That day, going home on the bus, I made a decision. I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to fight. I wasn't going to respond with words. I would respond with results. I would save every penny, learn every lesson, work in silence, and one day I'd turn the game around. It was like planting in dry soil. No one could see it. No one believed it. But inside me, I was watering the seed with discipline and faith. The following years were filled with sacrifice. While Ricardo spent on parties and trips, I worked double shifts. In the morning at a construction site, at night in a small workshop, and after midnight studying with borrowed books. I turned down invitations, saved every coin, avoided waste. Many called me stingy. But I knew I wasn't stingy, I was sowing. I remembered a phrase my father used to say, "Son, the poor man who saves pennies can one day build the castle that the rich man mocks." And that phrase became my fuel. Life began to return the fruits. First, a promotion at work. Then, a small side business fixing used furniture. With time, I bought a motorcycle. Then, a simple car, but it was mine. The house, once small and damp, was renovated. My clothes no longer had patches. But Ricardo still mocked. "Look at you, Daniel. Now you're lower middle class. Congratulations." He didn't realize that each of my steps was solid, while his was just appearance. Until the wheel turned, Ricardo lost his job. The company he worked for shut down, and with no savings, he drowned in debt. Life, which once seemed so generous with him, started to charge its price. No more trips, no more cars, no more luxury watches. And suddenly, the man who laughed at my poverty was tasting its bitterness. Life is like a Ferris wheel. When we're at the top, we think we'll never come down. But just one turn, and everything changes. Meanwhile, my life was blooming. The business grew. My children studied in good schools. My wife lived in peace. And for the first time, I didn't have to check prices at the grocery store. At a family gathering, Ricardo showed up with his head down. No jokes, no mockery. He just looked at me in silence. And at that moment, I realized I didn't need revenge. Life itself had already delivered it for me. And inside me, a phrase echoed. One day, the man who mocked my poverty was forced to respect my victory. This story isn't about revenge. It's about respect. It's about how life tests our patience and gives us, in silence, the chance to turn the game around. Today, I hold no grudge against Ricardo. I know that each of his laughs was fuel for my engine. If it weren't for his mockery, maybe I wouldn't have had the same strength to persist. I learned that true wealth isn't in brand name clothes, cars, or trips. It's in discipline, character, and resilience. And you? Have you ever been humiliated by someone who thought they were above you? Have you ever wanted to prove to the world that your poverty didn't define who you were? Share your story in the comments. It might inspire someone else. If this story touched you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs this message. And in the next video, I'll tell the story of a father who was rejected by his children until they discovered who was really standing by their side. Don't miss it.